An early morning start meant that our jam-packed day was about to begin, and we had our first day with Huawei at their headquarters in Shenzhen, China. Now, the campus at Shenzhen, China was a little bit far away from our hotel, and once we got there, we found out that a couple of kilometers in one direction and a couple of kilometers in the other direction comprised what was going to be the entire campus. But in our case, we were going to what was called an experience center, where obviously Huawei had a lot of different types of presentations already catered to the visitors who are coming to there, and for us, we were of course called the distinguished media guests. This particular leg of the tour really made one thing clear to us. Huawei's history in telecommunications is really one of their calling cards when it comes to what they're trying to do in the smartphone market now. We got a lot of different presentations showing us basically not only what they're hoping to do in the future, but what they have already done for people around the world in order to bring cellular networks and also mobile internet to the masses. One such demonstration that showed what Huawei is hoping to create for the future was this small cell on demand. These are small boxes, repeaters basically, for mobile networks that will allow for places like underground subways to get mobile internet access for all of the people who might be in that particular network, making it easier for everyone to keep a signal rather than lose it. And then, of course, there is the 5G idea. Now we have 5G pretty much coming over the next maybe 2 or 3 years at the latest. And Huawei's envisioning of the 5G network stems not only from the speed of mobile networks, but by the Internet of Things. The idea that the 5G network will be able to control billions of different things across its own networks, like streaming 4K videos in a seamless way with hundreds of gigabits being uploaded and downloaded at once. We did finally make it over to the device section. Now, Huawei's Ascend Mate 7 had front and center placement, but the Honor series was also there as well. The general area just looked like a booth from one of the trade shows like CES or MWC or IFA, but we did get a little bit more insight into the Honor series, which is going to be considered a somewhat separate brand from the Huawei Ascend series. And like I said already, the Honor 6 Plus is the phone that I'm using right now, and a review on that will be coming pretty soon. One part that's interesting that you can kind of see in the background already is right next to this device area was a Polynesian break room. It's a place that we wanted to try out for ourselves to see how Huawei takes a breather from their work, but unfortunately we weren't able to sit down in there and have a cup of coffee. To be shown even more of what Huawei has or is looking to do, we took another short drive out to another part of the campus where we were going to be shown quite a few other iterations of their mobile networking and what it could do for people. What really caught our eye was this patent wall, which has hundreds upon hundreds of different patents from different standards across the world, not only in Asia, but also from the US and even the European Union. All of the different patents that allow them to create the devices that they are able to make. Never have we seen something like this where it is pretty much all out in the open for you to look at. But we were able to take a look at a lot of data center and cloud computing solutions here. Huawei also has a very high stake in the server business, including clouds, and a lot of the technology, not only from mobile but also to the data storage and the data consumption, is done in different areas across the spectrum, including military, as you can see here. And we also got a look at what might be the future of banking with this automated ATM that does not only the automated teller systems but also even everything that a regular bank would do. We then settled in for what was going to be the room that we will call home for the next day and a half, where we will conduct all of our interviews with the various high-level representatives there. And a couple of those interviews did happen a little bit later in that day, which you will see in the upcoming clip, but also in full interview, maybe around 15-minute snippets of the hour-long interviews we did.
If you make something normal, it's very hard for them to share. If you make something excellent, they will like to share. If you make the true difference, they will like to share. So we need to make something, make it possible. We need to make something looks impossible possible. Maybe we are not doing very well now, but we need to do it later, step by step. Every product we need to. If you remember Huawei, you will say the Ascend P1 is the slimest smartphone, and the Ascend Mate 2 the biggest smartphone. And Ascend D1 the most powerful smartphone, and the Ascend Mate is the best large screen smartphone. It's some stupid word we are using, but it's really we want people to know this is different.
And also, not only the thickness matter. There's a lot of technology, a lot of companies showing up what they can do, But think about it, for example, like I have 2 arms or I have 3 legs. That doesn't mean it's like a really true value to our consumer. You don't need that. So we don't want to do that kind of gesture. What we are focusing on right now, how we can deliver the true value to our consumer. That's our really main area. So since P6, we're not really addressing that like world thinnest phone, no. But we try to, provide the compact as much as possible, but not just for showing off that world thinnest thing. No, that's already almost 2 years, before kind of situation. So, today I can really tell you, our really main focus is all about the true value.
The philosophies behind the various devices like the Ascend Mate 7 and even the P series and the Honor series were all par for the course here, and they were all parts of our discussion that you can see in the interviews that I will have available for you for consumption over the next day or so. You can also take a look on the side there for the first vlog style video that we had there, and then the final vlog style video that comes right after this, with our next day going over to Shanghai in China to take a look at the headquarters of Huawei. Make sure you stay tuned for the rest of those here at Android Authority.